Good evening, one and all, and welcome to the video. In this video, I'm going to be teaching you about Google OAuth 2 login and how to do conditional rendering of elements of HTML elements using the power of HandelBar JS and jQuery. Let's get started. So what you're about to learn in this video tutorial series is basically, you can see a very simple snippets. It's completely developed in Flask, Python, HandelBar JS, and we're using Google OAuth 2 login. So you're going to click on login. It will come you to the login screen. We click on the login screen. Once you're logged in, you would have all of these nav bars. These nav bar would only come once you're logged in. Once you log out, all of these nav bars suddenly disappears. Now, how do we do that, right? So let's get started in this video. All right, so first of all, I'm gonna start from scratch, assuming you don't know anything. So we have a lot to do. We have a lot of code to write. So let me do one thing, guys. So I'm going to open a new project here, open recent my socket, no, not that one. Let's open this one. Let's say website. That should be a empty scratch project. So we're going to start from scratch. Okay, so yeah, okay, that's that. So first of all, what you want to do is, usually you want to create a project directory. So come here and say, you'll say project. Okay, so come to this, and first of all, you want to, inside this project folder, what you want to do is basically, are we recording? Oh yeah, we are. So yeah, so in the project, come here, new, here, click on directory, templates, okay, and this in the same directory, create a new Python file called as app.py. Once that is done, what you want to do is, first of all, you want to head over to the Google, almighty Google. Actually, I'm already on the Google, so I'm going to show you. I'm going to delete the API, so don't worry about that. So come to the Google Developer Dev Console, come log in here, go to Dashboard, APIs, Credentials, click on Create Credential, click on OAuth Client ID. Once you do that, it would ask you some details like project IDs and stuff like that. So enter those details there and click on OK. Once you do that, Google will give you authentication keys. You write a name, make sure to select the web application. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it again for you. But once you are done, what you want to do, I definitely want to show you that. So yeah, let it load. So I have directly API keys here, Flask, just named it a Flask app. So you want to test it out locally, right? So what you want to do is, first of all, you want to copy the client ID and the secret here, copy that. Another thing is, in the URL section on the bottom section, make sure to authorize /authorize and /login. The domain should be localhost 5000 because that's what you're going to work on, and click on save. I've already done that, so yeah, that's that. Now let's get started with JavaScript, right, man? Let's do it. So let me actually paste. Oops, not that. That's an app file. So let's go to templates. Let's start with a file called HTML file, and call this as index.html. Okay, now we are in the Python file. Let's start. It's going to be a little rapid programming, so bear with me. So first of all, we got to import all the libraries. Make sure to install auth-lib, pip install auth-lib. So that's done. Now what we got to do is basically, we got to create an app. Okay, so we're going to create an app. Oops. We got to create an app, a Python app. Okay, and now we're going to define our global variables, that is the client ID and the secret or whatever we just did. So I defined all of that. I'm gonna, of course, delete those credentials, so don't worry about that. Once that is done, we gotta create an OAuth instance here. So you don't have to worry, the code is there. All you have to do is come here and change this to ID and something secret. Just change that. That's all you gotta do. Don't worry about anything else. So this is the part you should be changing. So this is just creating an instance, okay? Okay, now that's done. Now what we gotta do is basically, we gotta develop a simple home route. Actually, let's do this. So we have this. Let me see. Oh, that one, sorry. So that's that. Let's remove this one. We have a basic app here, Flask app, renders index.html. Now let's come to templates right there. Come to index.html. Now let's start adding some code here. So first of all, I'm gonna add all the script tag like bootstrap and all of that. The CDN links here would go to the head section here. So yeah, I've added all of these links here, so you can see that. You can definitely see that. Now what you want to do is basically, in the body you want to write a raw, because you're gonna code JavaScript here. Actually we're gonna code about Ginger template, so that is why we gotta write it in the raw, because you're using Flask. So here I'm gonna start writing my JavaScript code, which would be rendered conditionally, that I just showed you. Okay, so that's that. Now what I want to do here is in the app section, first of all, I want to have 3 routes. So which would be I'm going to create some dummy stuff here. So login, let's do a pass here. We'll come and fill out all the details here. App, come and pass here as well. And then we need one more route, which would be, as you know, is called as logout. So let's come here, let's put that as well. Okay, so that's that. These are the 3 routes you want to do. Now what do you want to do? You want to have some kind of a function which will return true or false if you're authenticated or not. So that's the function which would check if you are authenticated or not. So basically here you can see we are grabbing the name, we are grabbing the data from the session. We would make sense what I'm saying. So let's come to the login section, and what should happen when you log in. So first of all, when you want to log in here, so first of all, we're gonna create an instance of OAuth create client. We're gonna use Google for that, and then we want to use the redirect URL. Remember, that's why we whitelisted the where is that? Yeah, that's why we whitelisted the domain, the routes /login and /authorize, because we're gonna do that, right? So what we're gonna do is basically redirect URL for we're gonna call authorize, which is this function right here. We'll write the stub function right there, and then here, so let's go to authorize. So in the authorize section, it's pretty easy. This is the code from their official documentation. So all you do is basically create a Google OAuth client instance. Then you basically, as you can see, access token from the Google needed to get the user info. So we grab the token. What we do is basically, once we get the token, then we get the user info from the Google. So that's the JSON, and all we gotta do is put that data on the session so we can access it later on. So that's that. Okay, so this is it's a pretty simple code. The comments are already there. You could definitely come and read about it. So all it does is basically, hey, it goes to the Google, it authorizes that. If it authorizes, then it gives you a JSON response of the person, like the email ID and the image of that and the name of that person, and then it basically redirects you to the home route. Once you are redirected to the home route, so once you click on login, it would come to all of these. It's gonna authenticate, and then it's gonna redirect you to the home route. So here we wanna return that. So it's gonna come here after that, and we wanna return that redirected URL, which is basically nothing but home route. So google.authorize redirect, and then it'll be like a home route. So this is what it's returning here. It's gonna redirect you to the home route. So that's that. All you gotta do is now the logout route. Logout route is also very easy. All you gotta do is basically flush the session because you're gonna log out, right? So we're gonna pop all the keys from the session, and then we are basically, as you can see, for key in list item session.keys, session.pop.keys. So we are basically clearing the session. That means you're logged out, and we redirect you back to the home page. So that's that. Right now, basically, as I said, we gotta create a method which is is logged in. So that method is very easy. As I said, what you're going to do is basically, remember, we check the session. If the data is there in the session, you're logged in. If it is not there, you're logged out. We want to keep the data for 5 minutes in the session. If you want, you can permanent session lifetime. If you want, you can increase the session time. So make sure to do that if you want to do that. Now in the login section, what I'm going to do here in the login is I'm going to pass a flag. I'm going to call that function on that. Okay, I'm going to call that function. I'm going to pass the flag. So now comes the main JavaScript. That is exactly what I wanted to show you in the code. Flask Python side is easy, not a big deal. Anyone can write that. So JavaScript, right now, a little bit JS. So HandelBar. So I'm going to be using HandelBar JS extremely for this project. So first of all, what I'm going to do is basically, hey, I want to define a script tag. Okay, I want to define a script tag. Oops, I'm going to define a script tag. And what I want to do in the script tag is basically do that way. Now I want to do a document. I want to make sure that the DOM is ready. So that's that. Then you can see that be pretty easy, simple jQuery stuff. Making sure that the DOM is ready. We are accessing the Jinja variable using this syntax in the JavaScript. Now see how am I using this, okay? Now what I'm going to do in this raw section is basically I'm going to define a template. I'm going to define a HandelBar template. If you don't know handlebars, again, I have a complete series on HandelBar. I don't know why you did not watch it. It's right there, okay? So that's my template, which is going to be rendered, which is going to be conditionally rendered precisely. So I'm just going to paste some code here. Let me know if this makes sense to you. Should be pretty easy and straightforward. Okay, so this is the code from the Bootstrap documentation. Now let me show you what I'm doing. So now this should definitely make sense. Let me paste a helper function there. Don't worry about the helper, just a helper function here. Let me see if you guys understand this part. It should be pretty self-explanatory. So I'm passing the data here, okay, and see what I'm doing here in the HandelBar JS. So let me actually indent this and let me indent this one. Yeah. So this is the nav bar, right? So if the flag is false, that means you're not logged in. That means your data is not there in the session. That means I want to render a button called as login on the UI. If the flag is true, that means you are logged in, right? You are already logged in. Your data is there in the session. I want to render these. Excuse me, I'm sorry about that. So if the flag is true, that means in HandelBar we're saying that this dot flag is equal to true. If the flag is true, render these components on the nav bar. So that basically you want to render a sign out component. That means you want to only render sign out if you are signed in, which is nothing but the flag, right? The flag is true or false. True means you're signed in, false means you're not signed in. It's as simple as that. A Boolean logic, right? If it is true, render this. If it is false, render this. So that's that. Right now, what else? Now you wanna render these components somewhere, right? So this one right here, that's why I used HandelBar, because you can do a lot of fast. It helps you a lot. I mean, I've been using HandelBars in my company for about, I guess, what was that? For about 6 months, we are using HandelBar. It's pretty fast. So yeah, so now we want to render it in this component. So all of this data, the script tag would be rendered here. Now you would ask how. So you see nav. So you see, basically you define a template, nav template, which is all my conditional rendering, if, then, blah, 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 all of this, and it gets rendered in this component right here. Okay, so if you see nav.content, that is this one right here, and we are compiling that script, whatever we wrote, and we are passing it data. So data, this all will be conditionally rendered, and then this would be rendered on the nav content. So with that being said, it should be pretty much it, right? So if you, again, if I come here, a Jumbotron, if everything was done correctly, hopefully, which I think it is. So if everything was correct, let's see. Where am I? Where am I? cd.dirs, cd project cls dir. Okay, yeah, simple. Python app.py, just simple stuff, not a big deal. Yeah, so this should work fine. Yeah, I mean, he's supposed to do his job. Oh, one sec, guys, there's a small typo here. You know what, I forgot the decorator for the login, so it's gonna throw an error like, hey, what are you doing? So let's fix that quickly. Oh yeah, oh boy. Okay, so that's that. Let's restart the app. If everything was okay, it should be working fine. So yeah, with JavaScript, you can add this kind of logics like pretty fast, like very fast. So let's go to the main route. So you can see home and login. It says welcome. When I click on login, it would be redirecting me to the Google Authentication. I log in with everything should be okay. The flag is true. It renders all of these components. The sign in goes away because the flag is false. And if I click on sign out, it sign out and it re-render the component. So you see how pretty fast, right? I mean, it was like what, 10-15 minutes. I developed a complete authentication, like sign-in stuff, right? I mean, see how rapidly you can develop things with Flask, Python. Yeah, I mean, I use HandelBars a lot, HandelBar, jQuery, Bootstrap. Yeah, so all of that is this is that. I would say, hey, Samuel, I mean, okay, it works fine, but how do you display the name of the person? I mean, guys, simple again. What you want to do is, again, you want to query the session and display the data. So if I just had to show you what I'm saying, let me just show you, man. That's fine. So print user. Okay, so I'm gonna print the user here. Actually, want to refresh the screen right here. Should print up the data. So currently we are not logged in. Let's log in. I want to log in with my that one right here. It should print the session data. Yeah, verify email. What is that? Yeah, all of that. See, email address and all. Blah 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 blah. family name, scientist, given name, sawmill, blah, 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 whatever. Okay, so what you want to do is, again, you might ask, so just I'm showing you, pretty easy. What you want to do is you also want to return the user object. So you want to return the user object like this. If it is not there, you want to display this way, and if it is false, you want to display this way. Okay, so pretty much it. So you have a user object here, so all you got to do in the flag object is you got to define the user, because now it's going to send you two things. And you know what I want to do? Yeah, I mean, does not matter actually, but whatever. Okay, so that's that. Now come to here, index.html. We would access the JavaScript variable user colon, just the same way Jinja variable will access this in the, what do you call that, man? In the HandelBar JS. So that's the user flag, user, change this to user, it's going on the data. Now all I gotta do, console.log data. It's pretty easy, very easy. Same. Come here again, inspect, go to console. If we have an object, this user, and you see if it's a string, right? So I gotta parse it. So hey, wait, why do I have hash and all? Maybe the encoding. Yeah, it's fine. So you got the idea, right? Pretty much. JSON.parse. Okay, it's pretty easy. Okay, so that's that. Hopefully you should reload the changes. Let me click on inspect element, and then you can just use Jinja templating to display that, right? So pretty much. Oh, right, we have an error. JSON.parse anonymous. Let's say I expected token JSON position 1. I know what it is. Let me do the serialization. Oh, it's already dict, right? So it shouldn't be a problem. Dict session. Yeah, it's a dictionary, so it should not have problem in serializing that. But why are you giving me issues now? Seems like you're not parse it as a JSON. You know what? Whatever. If you want to pass like email, I would just pass email. So let me see. Hold on. Let's get rid of that one. Hold on. Should be easy. Refresh. Okay. Perfect. Come here. So you're not logged in, right? Are you? Okay. Sign out. Let's sign out. Okay. We are signed out. Login back. I don't want to log in with my Bruce account. Whatever. It's fine. It's gonna take a while now. Give me 1 sec. Sorry for that. Okay, so we are logged in again. Is they print something? Dictionary. Yeah, whatever. I'm not printing it. That's why it was like user. Let me restart that, refresh that, so I can print it. Then I can pass it an email address. Okay, so we have a given name. Let's grab the given name. Else if it's not, blah blah blah, just remove it. Okay, so that should be it. Okay, so we have the given name, and then here okay, yeah, I'm just gotta do the replace thing. So login. Yeah, so I'm gonna access the user variable right here again. Come to index user colon, and the same thing, nothing new, user. Okay, so we have that. Come again here, refresh. We should have that user sawmill. Lovely, that is amazing. All you gotta do is just use Jinja. So instead of navbar, let's change your yeah, I'm just gonna use like Jinja here again. I mean handlebars again. Where is that? Home navbar. My eyes, my specs actually. Oh, I can. Oh, yeah. So let's do this, man. Let's do some conditional rendering here. So again, just showing you for demo purposes. So add here just an if statement. Okay, so if it is false, do something. If it is not false, do something else. So let's say if this dot flag is true, that means if it is true, that means you are logged in, right? So you want to say hi. Damn it. Hi, and you want to render. let's see, what was that, user? I guess user, right? Yeah, easy. So if it is this, then do this, or else what do you want to do? If it is, yeah, see, you can write business logic pretty easily, or like I usually like it. Same thing, I mean. So we have hi Sawmill, sign out, hi guest. Look at this, guys, this is amazing. So yeah, I mean, works flawlessly without any issues. Yeah, use this code. Yeah, hi Sawmill works fine. So yeah, thank you for watching this video. Hopefully you did enjoy this fast walkthrough. I wouldn't call it tutorial because I wanted to give you like quick walkthroughs, because a lot of people already know this. People who are a web developer knows, okay, this is a jQuery, he's loading this on the DOM and he's just doing conditional rendering, this. So just wanted to give you a quick overview of how it's done, right? Code is there on the GitHub account, links are in the description, check it out. And as usual, guys, thank you for watching the video. Keep smiling, keep coding. Have any more questions, post your questions in the comments and I would be very happy to assist you. Once again, see you guys in the next video.